what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy. I want to talk a couple LSU football pieces. As on the news front, looking at a Tiger droppings report here. The LSU coaching staff extended an offer to Rhode Island safety Antonio Carter on Tuesday. Of course, the defensive backfield for a second year in a row is a group where you kind of don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. You know, you like the pieces that you brought in, but it is not a lot of new faces for a second year in a row, and you're going to see how they all fit together. And you still need depth there, and Antonio Carter would seem to check that box. Now, to give you an idea, right? Like anytime, if you're looking for a way to measure, if you've never heard of a person, say, hey, how good is this guy, right? Well, who are the other suitors? That LSU offer joins Notre Dame, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and many, many others. So as you can see, this is a premier college football recruit, and in a lot of ways again, we nothing in life is all positive, right? Every coin has two sides. You know, a knife cuts both ways, yada, yada, yada. Like we talked about it with Mel Tucker. He benefited off the transfer portal. Now he's being slain by it. In the same way, there are, stories that you don't like that come out of the transfer portal era and the age of NIL, and you lose players that you don't want to lose. And I know, like, Jake wanted to talk about Hunter Dickinson going from Michigan to Kansas earlier and some of the things he had to say. Like, yeah, there's going to be something you don't like. This is one of those stories that I love, though, because here's a kid, Antonio Carter, for whatever reason, maybe he was small in high school and he grew later, right? Maybe he just didn't get looks because he was buried at some small high school, right? Like, there's so many different reasons. Guys develop at different rates, and yet normally, just because of how it works, we reward the guys who develop early, because they get the looks from colleges and they get the college scholarships. And, well, if you mature after 18, good luck, but it's going to be harder to find you. Well, that's not the case anymore. So for whatever reason, Antonio Carter at high school did not demand respect. He goes to Rhode Island. He balls out, starts 22 games in 2 years, 60 tackles, 4.5 TFLs, a sack, and a pick last year. 10 PBUs too. And, well, all of a sudden now, LSU, Notre Dame, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, that's awesome, okay? That is someone who deserves to be on that stage, now having the ability to find that stage. And it probably comes with money nowadays as well, which has got to be great as a young man trying to start your life off in the right way, right? Because he has so many suitors, you're going to probably have to have some NIL promises in there. I mean, that's what Dickinson talked about, going from Michigan to Kansas. He literally talked about how he was very blunt about it. He was making under six figures at Michigan. He wanted to make six figures. Who can't appreciate that? So we'll see where Antonio Carter ends up going. Obviously, again, because of the market and the stats, I think that's going to be a big pickup for whoever gets him. And it'll be up to Brian Kelly to prove that, can he achieve the Louisiana dream of putting a fence around the state, keeping all that incredible in-state talent in-house while going to other portions of the country and grabbing these big-name recruits. And like we talked about yesterday, one of the other things Brian Kelly's going to look to do, and as he looks to bring stability to this LSU program, which can be more up and down than just about anyone in the entire country, is he's got to figure out what to do at the highest level with these five-star guys. Got to get them to start to perform. And if you do that, well, then the potential of LSU becomes nearly unparalleled, right? I mean, we laid it out yesterday. Nobody better in the country, objectively, numerically, at putting 3 and 4 stars into the NFL. It's the 5 stars that you miss on. If you fix that piece, well, then, the sky's the limit. I guess my only question is, can you get past Georgia? And there's a line. I know we touched on it yesterday, but there's a line that's almost just stuck in the back of my head, boys, and I can't get rid of it. And it's that LSU, in that period that the Athletics studied, that recent decade, that 11-year period, Louisiana was second per capita in terms of players put into the NFL. Who was first? Georgia. Why does that become terrifying? Georgia nearly has triple the population that you do, and yet per capita, they still sent more to the NFL. So you're talking about a talent pool size that is higher ratio-wise, but also triple the size. And that's who they're choosing from. And traditionally, Georgia used to hold themselves back. They used to be penny pinchers. They had like a 30-yard indoor up until like a couple of years ago. But now they got Kirby Smart. They found their Caesar, their Pompey, and the purse strings are open, and the rewards of conquest are flowing in. They just built an $80 million new football ops building. They built a $60 million attachment to the stadium for recruiting and a new locker room. Built a $30+ million indoor facility. They're paying these players. Like and then even different than somewhere like Tuscaloosa, which when Nick Saban arrived wasn't much of anything, and now has risen and it's got like jobs and economic opportunity, all this stuff. Athens was already cool. And now you have that leader. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.